Well, the Arnold Hall project it's a historic Arnold Hall building on 3rd Street, and it's had flooding issues for many years, and as well as the buildings next to it. During heavy rainfall, there's water in the buildings from the rain. And so the Arnold Hall project is a stormwater project to try to mitigate the flooding as part of that. So on this project, we're using a combination of some newer features on this. Paved drain, which is a pervious paver that we can put on the surface, so we don't need to put in a lot of pipe and inlet on this project. It's very similar to the surface we put at the 4th and Main parking lot. The idea of pervious pavement is the water, it's just as if it were grass or turf. The water hits the ground and it infiltrates straight into the ground, so you don't have runoff. Obviously, as we do this project, we want to make sure we're not adversely or overly adversely affecting the businesses. So part of this is that it's going to be, the contractor has plans to build in a couple of phases. So one will be behind the building with Arnold Hall, do that one first. And then when we have the main parking lot closed, probably post some signs on 3rd Street for like carry out, pickup and delivery. So there'll be some spaces on 3rd Street reserved for that. We'll also add some additional signage to help direct motorists to the parking garage on Green Street, because the parking garage right next to City Hall is a public parking facility. It's open to anyone 24 hours a day. At Lee Drive or Lee Longview Drive and Ward Road, we've had several homes there that have reported flooding, structural flooding. Now this goes back to our 2007 bond issue program that started, where basically funding was authorized to address stormwater projects that would address structural flooding caused by a lack of public infrastructure or failed public infrastructure. And so what we're doing here on Lee Drive is there's some work along Lee Drive to add some pipe and inlets and upsize the culvert. But then the other issue is on Ward Road. There's a culvert under Ward Road that was causing water to back up. These projects, like Arnold Hall, it's the last project that's being built out of the 2007 bond issue that was approved by voters. So we've done quite a few projects throughout the city, and again, this will be the last one that actually provided about $15 million to build stormwater projects. The Lee Drive project is being funded from our transportation sales tax, or CIP sales tax, that was approved by voters in 2017. Jefferson Street was a project that's been our transportation master plan. And so on Jefferson Street, that's part of one of the key economic development areas there around the 291 South Interchange and 50 Highway. So part of this is removing that impediment to development by improving the road there on Jefferson Street. Part of it is to improve our walkability or complete streets in there. So, because we included some wider lanes to allow on-street bike traffic, a 10-foot trail, and sidewalks to allow bike and ped traffic. So now there's a trail that will connect from there across the interchange all the way to downtown. Part of it too is the safety improvements, because we added a traffic signal at Purcell and Wards. And then it also, as part of that project too, there's, what's not seen are the improvements to the sanitary sewer and water main. The nice thing about all these is that they take time. We've had a lot of support from the public on these projects through the funding of these, and we've had a lot of support from our elected officials as far as trying to go through and get these programmed. And then the other is, if you step back and look at them instead of just as individual projects, you can kind of see how they start to kind of fit together and piece together. Like the recently completed 3rd Street, we've widened that, we've added sidewalks in there, which ties into Ward Road, which will tie into the Lee Drive culvert, and then a future project at Purcell's and Ward. So you kind of see that kind of being sequenced together.